Welcome to another edition of Handicap Born Black in America. I'm your host, Ramon Roan, and this has been brought to you by Judicial Freedom Riders. And you can find us on the web at www.jfrinc.org. And today's topic is entitled, Nigga is no longer a hate crime with a New York City judge. Now, a white man slaps a postal worker and then calls him nigger. And the judge says it's just a case of road rage. Now, according to the law for hate crimes, racial slurs is a crime. Using a racial slur is a crime. So this guy, he slapped a federal employee. That's assault and battery. And he called him nigger. Now the judge in this case, I can make my assumption based upon the facts that the majority, between 88 to 90% of the judges are white, that judge didn't see any problem with the postal worker, who is a minority, being called nigger. Would the defendant, would he have called the person a nigger if that person was white? That's the issue. Would you still call, would you still get as angry to where you lay your hands upon an individual if you would have done the same thing if a person was white? That's the question. Now, my opinion, and based upon the evidence of statistics on how judgments are handled out, our justice system is corrupt and it is racially biased against brown and black people. This judge proves it. There's no way that you can come out, at least from reading this, and this happened with this a Brooklyn firefighter that was cleared of these charges. Nigga, and by the way, don't think just because you have a lot of minorities that's living in New York, and particularly in Brooklyn, don't think that there's no racism in New York. Because I have many friends that live in New York, and they'll say, no, don't get that twisted. No, there's racism there. Just don't think that just because we live out in the South, we have a pigeonholed or we got the lockdown on racism. There's only racism in the South. No, there's racism in New York City. Believe that. And you New Yorkers, you know the truth. And he called the guy a nigger. I'm like, how in the world are you going to call this man a nigger? How in the world you call him a nigger and it's not a hate crime? I don't understand that. And hate crime is punishable by, it's a felony. But they won't charge a firefighter as felony. You slapped this man. You assaulted, not in self-defense. You took the offense. Now, if the postal worker had defended himself, would he have gone to jail? I would say that if he's brown, he probably would have gone to jail. He would have been charged with something. So, nonetheless, in New York, based upon this case here, you can find it for yourself. Based upon this case, you can call a black person a nigger, and it's no problem. You can assault and call them a nigger. And in New York, with this judge, you can do it and it's no problem. Hey, he's just got off with a misdemeanor, saying that it's there was a case of road rage. Wow. Look, justice in America, how we like to think of justice is blind. Justice is far from blind. Man, justice got a microscope. Justice not only don't have a blindfold, it has glasses, they got a microscope, they telescope, it's scoping out on make sure who gets justice and who does not get justice. I'm your host, Ramon Roan, and this has been another edition of Born Black in America, brought to you by Judicial Freedom Riders, and may God bless you, and until the next time, stay safe.